to another video from T.I.M.E, the test prep experts. Today we have for you para formation questions, commonly known as para jumble. Okay, and today we are looking at, there are many patterns in para formation. We are looking at a specific pattern where 7 sentences are given to you and you need to rearrange them in the right order. This is a pattern that commonly occurs in the BankPO mains exam. Okay, let us discuss this, but before that we have a little reminder for you. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel T.I.M.E for Bank Exams, so that you can watch many more such useful videos, not only in English but in all subject areas related to your exam preparations for bank, government exams, railways, insurance, etc. And do press the bell icon so that you will get regular updates. Okay, now para formation. If you want to know about the basics of para formation, we have posted other videos on this where we have explained the basic principles of para formation in detail with illustrations, etc. Please go and check our previous videos. Okay, but to give you a quick recap, para formation is based on the logic of paragraphs. Now, if you want to write an essay, you will typically start with an introduction, then you will have the body of whatever you want to say, and then you will have a conclusion. But within this, right, now within one particular para, you rarely think of how to arrange the points. You will say the points within a para in whatever order that comes to your mind. However, when you are asked to arrange them in the right order, that means that you have to pick the most logical order of the sentences. Okay, now how do you pick the most logical order of the sentences? Obviously, when you start reading these sentences, you start looking for some connectives, right? You look for certain patterns like maybe pronouns. If there is, let us say, this is the reason, then we look for the sentence which gives the reason for that, right? Certain other patterns like question, answer, problem, solution, cause and effect, these kind of things can give us some idea of the correct order, right? There is also certain patterns of idea flow that you have to keep in mind. This is what we have explained in other videos, but a quick recap. Typically in paragraphs, you will see certain patterns of idea flow. The most common pattern is where these sentences flow from general to specific, what we call the inverted pyramid. Okay, you start with a broad general introduction, which may be the topic statement, it may state a problem, it may define a concept, etc. Then you get to the more specific details. Now, sometimes the author decides to start with a specific sentence for impact, for more impact. Okay, so they start with a specific sentence, maybe an example of something or some data, and then they get to the general statements. Okay, apart from this, we can also have an hourglass pattern. I am not drawing it here, but an hourglass pattern where the ideas flow from general to specific to general. That is where there is a general introduction, then specific details or examples or data, and then another general conclusion. So keep these points in mind while solving your para formation questions. You may feel that para formation questions are very bulky, we have to read so many sentences, but believe me, it is simple logic. And in questions like this, you know, you have, once you get the order, you have multiple questions based on the positions of sentences, so it is really scoring. It's just that initial order that you need to get, you will get it with a little focus. Okay, let us try one question here. The Attapaka Bird Sanctuary on the West Godavari Krishna district border at Kaikaluru in Kolleru Lake has become the lone safe breeding ground for these two migratory bird species. Can this start the paragraph? Till here it was okay, right? It is introducing a bird sanctuary, it's all fine. But these two migratory bird species, you have a pronoun there, it needs a referent. What does it refer to? We cannot start with the sentence now, right? Okay. Kolleru Lake, Asia's largest freshwater lake, spreads across West Godavari and Krishna districts in Andhra Pradesh. Can this start the para? Probably. It is a very general sentence which introduces a lake to us. Possible. A few more thousands of grey pelicans and painted storks are believed to be on their way to Kolleru Lake within the next few days to be a feast to the eyes. A few more thousands of, which means it comes after something else, right? Okay. Attapaka village is the only location in the lake where bird lovers and photographers can have a glimpse of the painted storks from close quarters. Again, this may sound like a general sentence, you may say it is an independent sentence, but when you say the lake, which lake are we talking about? So that should come, now we know there is an introduction to the Kolleru Lake, this has to come after the introduction. The lake here refers to that lake, Kolleru Lake, right? This is why I said you need to really be focused, that is all, for doing this question time. Okay. The sanctuary, surrounded by an artificial pond, has a good vegetation cover supporting for arranging nests by the avian guests. Okay. So, the sanctuary, which sanctuary? The same thing. That comes after a sentence which talks about the sanctuary. No less than 6,000 grey pelicans and nearly 1,200 painted storks have made the Attapaka sanctuary their winter home for breeding. Okay. Now, this sentence introduces the species of birds that breed in the Attapaka sanctuary. Okay. So, again this, now we know that the discussion is about the sanctuary, this cannot come first logically, right? The annual breeding season of migratory birds, grey pelican and painted stork. Okay. So, now this is the sentence which introduces these species. This sentence mentions the more specific facts about these two species. The annual breeding season of migratory birds, grey pelican and painted stork has begun at this lake. So, this lake refers to the Kolleru Lake, and here the two species are being introduced in this sentence. F will come after G because it gives more specific data about those species. This much we have understood. Now, what is the order? Before answering these position based questions, we need to find the order. Now, everything is about the Kolleru Lake. So, which is the starting sentence? The sentence that introduces the lake. When we read these sentences, we said this could be the starting sentence. Now, we know this has to be the starting sentence. Okay. So, we have sentence B. Now, do you remember a sentence which talks about this lake or the lake, something like that? So, Kolleru Lake, Asia's largest freshwater lake, spreads across West Godavari and Krishna districts in Andhra Pradesh. The annual breeding season of migratory birds, grey pelican and painted stork has begun at this lake, right? These two sentences go together. Now, there is a sentence which talks about these two birds. See that you need to be very sharp while reading the sentences. Okay, you can't forget what you read in one sentence when you go on to the next one. Then you will have to keep going back and forth and you will waste your time. If you have enough focus and reasonably good memory, then this is good for you, this question type. Okay, so which sentence was that here? The Attapaka Bird Sanctuary on the west Godavari Krishna Disaha. This is the sentence which introduces the bird sanctuary. Till now we only know there is a lake, and the lake is the breeding ground for these migratory birds. Now this sentence introduces the sanctuary. It talks about the sanctuary being in the Koleru Lake and being the breeding ground for these two migratory bird species. So we have BGA. Now what will come next? There is a sentence which talks about the number, exact number of these species. That should come next, right? Logically, there is a sanctuary, then we have to talk about the birds in the sanctuary, the number of birds in the sanctuary. F, no less than 6,000 grey pelicans. So this comes next. Are you getting the sequence? Okay. Now we talked about the sanctuary, we talked about the number of birds here, then we give a little more description of the sanctuary. The sanctuary surrounded by an artificial pond has a good vegetation cover. So this is the reason why so many birds have made it their home. Okay, E is justifying the data given in F. The sanctuary has the right kind of ambience and atmosphere to support all these birds. That is the reason so many birds flock there. Now what is left? We have C and D. Okay, what should come first? Okay, so a few thousand, the number has been mentioned here, and now here you say a few more thousands of these birds are believed to be on their way, because the migration started, that we said in the first sentence. So few more birds of these species are on their way, and D is a good conclusion. Okay, because D says it is the only location in the lake where bird lovers and photographers can have a glimpse of the painted storks from close quarters. Why does it conclude the passage? Because it also flows from this, to be a feast to the eyes, right? It will be a feast to the eyes because it is the only location where all these people can have a glimpse of this. That's also ending on a general note. Okay, so we have B, G, A, F, E, C and D. We have sorted out all the sentences. Once you get this, we don't need to answer all these questions. However, just to get you familiar with these position based questions, let us quickly, we have the order here, we just need to see the respective positions. Which of the following should be the first sentence after rearrangement? Has to be sentence B, right? Once you get this order, it is very, very easy. Which of the following should be the third sentence after rearrangement? Third sentence is A. Okay, just make sure you don't go in the numerical order. Okay, it is not 1A, 2B like that. You have to pick the right option. That's all. Okay, next question. Among the following pairs, which one of them is formed with two consecutive statements after the rearrangement? Consecutive means one after the other, right? So you just have to see which of these pairs comes in the consecutive order. A and B? No. C and D, there you go. C and D come one after the other. So this is our answer, right? Do you need to check the others? No. If there is one more, then there is a mistake in the question. No. So you don't need to check the others. Your answer is C and D, option 2. Okay. Which of the following should be the second sentence after rearrangement? It should be sentence G. And one more question. Which of the following should be the fourth sentence after rearrangement? You don't spend any more time on these position questions once you have got the order. So you may feel, oh, this is like so heavy, how do I sit and spend so much time? But with one stroke you're getting at least 5 questions right. So it's just the effort of sorting out the sentences, and you can see the logic, no? It is not very difficult to sort them out if you focus a bit, okay? So I would strongly advise you to practice more of these questions. It's a very, very scoring question type. Most students don't realize it. They only go for the small questions like grammar and vocab. But then you may not be experts in this field. You may find questions that you don't know. So this at one stroke you will be able to get many points, many marks. Okay. So for more such videos, do not forget to subscribe to our channels in various social media platforms. All the links are given here in the in the description box. You will get videos in all the subject areas in the major bank and other government exams, okay? And if you want to sign up for our classroom coaching, do contact your nearest time center. We have an almost pan-India presence, and if you would prefer the online courses, you can enroll using this given link. So please keep practicing. All the best. Thank you.